Hello, I'm Justin Vallejo, and you're in the Lions Den. I'm joined with Aleea Bishop and Cassidy Rich of the women's soccer team, and they're going to give us a little insight of this upcoming season and a recap of last season. Let's get into it. All right. So how did it feel, winning a conference championship this year, or last year, 15 seconds left in the match? Can you kind of take me through, in double overtime and scoring that last and game-winning goal?
Well, pretty much Petey was just saying, take your time, and then I don't even think he realized how much time was left, and I didn't either, and then I looked up at the clock, and I saw there was only 15 seconds left, and so I just shot it, and it skipped and went right in, and then we all went crazy.
Yeah, I remember for basketball, we were actually watching the game on the way to one of our games, and the service kind of like cut out, and then we're like, all right, well, they probably ended up going in penalty kicks, and then we got a text saying that you guys ended up winning, and we're like, of course, that ends up how
I heard
it
that
goes.
too. It went off, and my mom was, she was mad because hers went out too. But yeah, it was a pretty awesome game.
All right, so Aleea, what were some of the reasons why you decided to come to Piedmont?
Well, it's kind of a crazy story because I honestly would have never thought I would have ended up at Piedmont in a million years. I had never even heard of it until when my friends told me about the college, but. Junior year, when I tore my ACL, I had to start looking places I knew I would fit in, and I knew where I would like, because at that point it's recruiting season. People are making commitments, coaches are giving away all their scholarships. So when somebody I knew told me about Piedmont, I decided to check into it. Came up for a visit, absolutely loved the campus, the most beautiful campus I had ever seen. And then I met with both the coaches, Timmy and PD. They came to several of the games, and they were honestly the nicest coaches I have ever met. Like, I had never seen a coach that interacted that way with their players, that were so respectful and thought so highly of their players. And even though I wasn't even their player yet, they thought highly of me, and I was just a recruit. They made me feel very comfortable, like I was at home already, and I was just like, yeah, that's the place for me.
Yeah, I would say, because I'm from Daytona Beach, and when I first came up here on my visit, it looked like the coaches really built a relationship with their players and didn't just, use them.
They do.
So that's one thing I liked about it too. So, back to you, Cassidy, you had an unbelievable season. Like I've seen before, you had 22 goals, 13 assists, I believe. 62 goals were on goal, and over half the time you shot the ball or kicked the ball towards the goal, it was on goal. So how are you able to be so dominant as a freshman coming in when usually you see numbers? You don't even see numbers from a senior, but being a freshman, how are you able to be so dominant?
Well, I knew coming in I had to set standards for myself and set goals. And at the beginning of the year, PD says you have to set so many goals, and I was like, okay, well, maybe score 10 goals, not even knowing like how many I was going to score. So that kind of set a level that we had, and so I just came in, did my thing, and did pretty good for my freshman year.
Yeah, so we're about a month into college, so would you say that you're still adjusting to college life, or would you say you got it down pat?
No, I definitely think I'm still adjusting, and I think it's going to take time too, because it's completely different being away from home after being there for 18 years. I mean, not being able to see my mom, my dad, my siblings every day, it's going to be hard. And it's also a lot more schoolwork than I'm used to. So
yeah.
Plus soccer every day, I haven't done that either. So
yeah, I would say when I was a freshman, it took a little while for me to get used to it as well. So, back to you, Cassidy. You won Rookie of the Year, you won Player of the Year. That's something you really don't see from too many places, and you don't see every day. So, what were some of the things going through your mind at that moment, and how'd you really, what did it really take for you to get to that level?
Well, the first thing I did was call my parents, and they were so excited for me. Same, I had a lot of support from my friends and family, and I knew that I had to do good my first year, and I wanted to set a standard for my next 3 years I was going to do, and getting Rookie and Player of the Year was pretty high one up there, so hopefully I can do it again this year.
Yeah. So back to you, Aleea. So, what are some of the expectations you have this year, being a freshman, and, what do you think PD really wants you to do?
I think he definitely wants me to succeed in the soccer career, and I definitely think he wants me to live up to what the standards that other girls have set as well. They've set very high standards, and I know it's going to be tough because they're a great team. But I do think I fit in well with them, and I do think I'll be able to compete at the level they compete.
Okay, so another question is, why, or did Piedmont find you, or did you find Piedmont?
It was kind of a both, actually. Like, at the same time my friend was telling me about them, I was getting emails. Mm-hmm. So it was kind of like we found each other.
Back and forth. Mm-hmm. All right, so, you know, could you honestly see you guys going back-to-back conference champions, and why?
Oh, yes, of course. Our team is very good, just like we showed last year. And we didn't lose too many seniors last year and gained a lot of freshmen that are extremely good.
Mm-hmm. So, you know, back to you. So Petey's been telling you different things, you know, so what else is he really saying to prepare, like, you guys as a whole, as a team for the upcoming season?
He's definitely working our butts off, making sure he knows our fitness levels are where they're supposed to be, making sure we know that he isn't going to play around this season, that he's very serious about it, and that there will be punishment if we do decide to take it as a joke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, okay, so if you had to say your one X factor for the year, who do you think is your guys' X factor?
Jasmine Panado. Mm-hmm. She controls the center mid.
I agree.
I remember last year she didn't play a game and we pretty much didn't have a center mid, so I would say this year is definitely Jasmine Panado again, controlling the center.
Okay, so arguably Michaela Gardner, who graduated last year, is one of the best goalies that Piedmont's ever had. And, I mean, looking back last year, she had 9 saves against Maryville one time. You know, how does that really affect you guys since she's graduated as a team?
Yeah, we definitely lost her. She was a big one in the goal. But we do have 2 new freshmen that are keepers, and they are very good. And Ashlyn Atnip, that's a sophomore this year, and she's just as good. So.
All right, so my last question is, you know, you guys lost 5-1 last year to Thomas More in the opening round of the NCAA tournament. What's going to be different this year if you guys end up making it back to the NCAA tournament?
I wouldn't say our mindset would be different because it's still going to be to win. Maybe put in more effort, and once we start going down, don't just shut down, just keep going and keep trying.
All right, well, that's all the time we have, folks. Thank you, Cassidy, for joining me. Thank you, Aleea, for joining me. I'm Justin Vallejo, and you're watching PCTV. Thanks.